Olympic figure skater champion Alyssa Liu will not compete in the World Championships later this month. A lot of Olympic athletes actually skipped the following World Championship, giving them a break after a very high-pressure event. Liu, if you'll remember, dominated in the Olympics, winning the first U.S. women's figure skating gold in 24 years. That's after she retired at just 16, feeling burnt out. But 4 years later, she is now an Olympic champion. So how do parents know if their kids just need encouragement or if they're actually feeling burned out? Joining me now is psychologist Dr. Morgan Francis. You know, growing up, you always hear parents, and I heard my mom say it too, don't quit, hang in there. Don't give up, right? But you see a story like hers, incredible comeback story, and you realize that, oh, wait, maybe, it's not as cut and dry. Maybe you should let your kid quit.
Absolutely. And we have to take a lot of factors into consideration because most kids nowadays with youth competitive sports are competing year-round, so they're not getting rest. And really, they're only able to do one sport at a time because of the level of commitment. So they're missing out on a lot of social opportunities. They're learning, they're trying to manage their school, and they are also exhausted.
Yes.
So we do have to take that into consideration with the children to figure out, is this really what is best for them?
And let's be honest, sometimes parents, I'm a little guilty, they want their kid to be in the sports more than the kid does, right?
Yes, I'm guilty of it too.
Yes.
Absolutely. I really love seeing my kids shine in their sport, and it gives me such joy. So of course we want to encourage our kids. And my rule of thumb is never quit on a bad day. Give it some time. And there are some red flags that we can pay attention to as parents to see, ooh, maybe our child does need to take a break.
So let's talk about those red flags. Experiencing when a child is feeling burnt out or when they're losing interest. What's the difference?
So there's anhedonia, or the loss of interest or joy in something they really loved to do before. Also some changes in their mood. They're getting more frustrated. They have a lot of guilt. They're not wanting to go. They're not motivated. And they're putting up a little bit of a fight and having to go to practice or train.
Yeah.
They're also maybe withdrawing from their teammates, not hanging out with them as much as they used to be. Or they may be experiencing some physical complaints, so stomach aches, headaches, and disruption in their sleep. And so we really want to be checking in with our children to say, hey, is there a deeper issue?
Right.
Because maybe there's something else going on that is further exacerbating some of these red flags.
Yeah, an underlying reason. Okay, so let's take the scenario. You're going to support your child. They want to quit. How should you respond? How do you do that?
Yeah, so we really want to get curious. And I typically tell my parents to look for the 3 rules. First, we want to see, is there competence? Meaning, is my child enjoying the sport? Do they have the skills? Are they able to do the sport? We also want to see accountability. Meaning, is there a way that they can be in the sport autonomy? Meaning, they're individual, like it's their choice.
Right.
They want this for them. They're not doing this for grandpa. They're not doing this because the coach. They're not doing this for you. As we talked about, we really love seeing our children shine in their sports, but they have to want it. And the third one is connection.
Yeah.
Right? They really need to feel supported by their teammates. It can be hard when it becomes more and more competitive because you might be fighting for that spot. And so that could be really hard because then the practice becomes a challenge because every second counts and you continually have to show up in that sport and deliver. And that's a lot of pressure for a teenager.
And I feel like these days, it just seems like the pressure for these sports like club, it is beyond what we grew up with, right? Before with sports, it was like through school or the community or something. And now, you're paying trainers. You're in the thick of it sometimes if you want your child to win.
Yes, and you're missing school. You're taking your child out of school early,
right,
and they're getting home really late. And so there's tutors that are coming in to help your child manage the caseload of their schoolwork.
Yeah.
So it's additional amount of stress for not only the athlete, but also the parents. So it is important to make sure it's the right fit for your child, and it's okay, as we've seen with our Olympic athlete, to take a break.
Oh, great advice, Dr. Morgan Francis. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.